launched a new initiative to fast-track citizenship for nearly 500,000 stateless people. My name is Olive Nathan. It's always a great pleasure to have you on board. Now let's kick off today's edition. Political and development experts emphasize that African countries should do everything possible to generate their own electricity, as it is one of the key enablers of the continent's development. Adam Squizera has the report.
Finding a joint solution to the lack to access of electricity on the African continent is one of the main topics under discussion at the ongoing African Nuclear Energy Summit. The Deputy Prime Minister of Tanzania, Dr. Doto Mashaka Biteko, stated that the cooperation among African countries is key in bridging this gap.
Overcoming these challenges, the summit provides invaluable opportunity for our country, Tanzania, and the rest of Africa to learn more from one another and develop concrete solutions for advancing nuclear power. We pledge our commitments to cooperate with development partners and other African nations to ensure that nuclear power become an integral part of our energy mix and indeed be integrated in our grid.
The construction of small modular reactors is among of the solutions being considered to address Africa's energy shortage. Dr. Sama Bell, the Director General of the World Nuclear Association, noted that solving this challenge should go hand in hand with nurturing scientific expertise that can help the continent to implement nuclear projects.
Only a small part of the people that will be involved in these projects, in the running of these facilities, are going to be nuclear engineers or nuclear professionals. We are going to need lots of mechanical engineers and civil engineers and electrical engineers and chemical engineers and all kinds of engineers, of which we already have many, and we can have many more. But very importantly, we also need pipe fitters and welders and people in manufacturing. We need project managers. We need economists and financiers. We need all kinds of other people that are going to contribute to this effort. So I think that it's important to have a countrywide, region-wide policy to develop this workforce, not just in nuclear, but in clean energy.
Dr. Lassina Zelbo, chairperson of the Rwanda Atomic Energy Board, noted that African countries should take advantage to their natural resources to invest in infrastructure that can enable them to build such nuclear energy plants.
It's time that they take ownership in tokenizing those reserves so that it could make available fund for them to consider infrastructure, not only in nuclear, but other type of infrastructure for their socio-economic and industrial development. I'm sure better people in financial model will come and talk about what could be the easiest way to fund nuclear energy, and then the change of mindset between immediate return on investment and long-term.
Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ntirene emphasized that the use of nuclear energy is essential to bridging the existing energy gaps on the continent.
This energy gap continues to hold back growth and development across the continent. To bridge this energy gap, now more than ever, our countries need to jointly work towards finding alternative solutions of energy production. And one of the best solutions for Africa to achieve its development agenda is to urgently adopt nuclear energy for power generation and other industrial applications. As we know, nuclear energy is categorized as a clean source of energy.
Rwanda's Vision 2050 outlines that by 2035, the country aims to become upper middle income economy, and by 2050, a high-income one. For the implementation of this national development agenda, the country will need up to 5 gigawatts in electricity generation capacity. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead, the Prime Minister of Rwanda, Dr. Edouard Ngirente, received his counterpart from Niger, Ali Mahaman Lamine Zein, who also serves as the Minister of Finance and Planning in his country. The discussions between the two leaders focused on strengthening the relationship between Niger and Rwanda and on enhancing cooperation in various sectors aimed at sustainable development and the well-being of the citizens of both countries. The Prime Minister, Ali Mahaman Lamine Zein of Niger, is in Rwanda to attend the first African Nuclear Energy Summit, and the Minister of Mining, advisors, and a representative accompanied him from the private sector. Moving ahead, on Monday, the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies approved the draft organic law governing the functioning of the Senate, replacing the 2018 law with the aim of aligning it with new laws, especially the Constitution of the Republic of Rwanda. We have details. This law is expected to clearly define the responsibilities of the Senate, its functioning, and its role in oversight and in upholding the fundamental principles that guide the governance of the country. Honorable Belin Uineza, the Deputy Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies in charge of Parliamentary Affairs, explained that the purpose of this draft organic law governing the Senate is to harmonize its operations with the laws that have since been revised.
Iryo tegeko iyo twaritoye riba ryabaye itegeko nubwo riba rigikomeje gutorwa ku rundi rwego.
When we vote, it becomes a law, even if it is still being voted on at another level. One of the reasons the Senate gave, which we also agree with, for the development of this new law governing Senate activities is the need to harmonize existing law with other laws that were enacted afterward. In harmonizing these laws, what mainly prompted the renewal is the Constitution of Rwanda. She also pointed out that the draft law provides for responsibilities including the oversight of all fundamental principles, meaning that each committee will no longer be limited to monitoring just one principle, as was previously the case. Among the things we evaluated is the role of the Senate in assessing the fundamental principles that govern our country, as outlined in Article 10 of the Constitution of the Republic of Rwanda. Previously, each Senate committee was assigned a specific principle to evaluate. However, moving forward, every committee will be responsible for evaluating all the principles, but in relation to the activities and focus areas of that particular committee. This draft organic law, which comprises 219 articles, was approved by 62 members of the Parliament in the plenary session. The next step is to forward it to the Senate for its approval. Moving ahead, the Public Accounts Committee has urged the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Board to accelerate the implementation of irrigation projects in the Eastern Province, where citizens in the country at large are counting on them to help address food insecurity. On Monday, when the RAB appeared before the committee, members of the Parliament pointed out that some projects that were expected to boost agriculture ended up wasting significant amounts of money without yielding the anticipated results. The ETI Mhanga project in Kirehe district with a cost of 20 billion Rwandan francs, yet the Auditor General's report shows that only 20% of the project has been implemented. Furthermore, residents have not yet started using it due to insufficient electricity supply. Another project in Mahama stands at 42% completion after consuming over 42 billion Rwandan francs. Dr. Telesfo Ndabamenye, Director General of the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Board, explained that electricity shortages had hindered the progress of these projects, but noted that steps have been taken to address the issue. RAB acknowledged the findings presented and committed to making the necessary corrections to ensure that the future activities are executed properly and on time. The 2023-2024 report from the Office of the Auditor General of State Finances revealed that RAB implemented only 39% of the recommendations provided. The Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Olivier Kamana, noted that while there is still room for improvement, progress has been made in following the provided guidance. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources and its affiliated agencies were advised to exercise greater diligence in awarding contracts and to ensure proper completion of accounting records. Still on local matters, the Rwanda Broadcasting Agency has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Al Jazeera Media Institute aimed at strengthening professional journalism through targeted training and collaboration. The agreement was formalized during a ceremony held on Monday in Kigali, attended by leaders from both institutions as well as local journalists. Take a look at the report. This partnership seeks to enhance the skills and capacity of journalists in Rwanda. The training will go beyond technical skills to address core challenges in modern journalism. It aims to also promote value-based journalism and knowledge exchange between media professionals. Speaking at the event, Montesa Mare, manager of media initiatives at the Al Jazeera Media Institute, elaborated on the broader goal of the collaboration.
The objective of this partnership and MOU is to help in building capacity in Rwanda. So we are about to start a training for journalists and a training for students of journalism. During this training they will learn about how to fight the fake news, the misinformation and disinformation. And it's not only about the tools only, but we'll go deep to understand the problem from where it comes. And hopefully it's just a start. We can build in the future on that training. Today we are here in Rwanda. For us, Africa is very important, as it's a window for Al Jazeera to Africa, and also a window for Africa to the Arab region through Al Jazeera.
The Rwanda Broadcasting Agency's Director General, Cleophas Barore, emphasized the significance of the agreement in fostering a lasting collaboration in the media sector. He also highlighted the potential of the partnership to help address the current challenges facing journalism.
I wouldn't say it is something that will be limited to RBA alone in matters of concerning Rwanda. These are agreements we hope to expand and include other journalists and media outlets, especially during trainings and other activities from which they too can benefit, since we all work toward the same vision. Another component includes a personal commitment to join efforts in understanding how some of the challenges facing today's media and broadcasting can be resolved. Issues such as the upholding of professional ethics, challenges journalists currently face in adapting to the use of artificial intelligence, and most importantly, other related projects.
The agreement is set to last for 1 year, with provisions for renewal and expansion based on mutual interest and evolving needs. As part of their visit, representatives from the Al Jazeera Media Institute also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, where they were briefed on the history of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and paid their tribute to over 250,000 victims laid to rest at the site. Founded in February 2004, the Al Jazeera Media Institute is dedicated to promoting excellence in journalism through training, research, and regional partnerships. To the education sector, more than 220,000 students who are completing primary school have started sitting for national exams, marking the end of the 2024-2025 academic year. Among them are 120,635 girls and 105 boys. This group also includes 642 students with disabilities. The Minister of Education said that these exams will assess the knowledge the children have acquired and determine whether they are ready to advance to secondary school. He noted that the number of girls has increased compared to boys and emphasized that students with disabilities were provided with all necessary support to ensure they could take the exams without barriers. The primary school national exams started on Monday, June 30th, 2025, and will run until July 3rd, 2025. They will be followed by the secondary school national exams, which are scheduled to begin on July 9th, 2025. To more news, education experts point out that when research is conducted but not used to resolve the problem it highlights, it becomes a wasted opportunity for the country. One example they give is the research done by university and higher learning institutions, graduates, as well as other researchers, which often gets shelved without even being applied. However, the National Council for Science and Technology says this is about to change. Enora Gladys has more on this report.
Some students who recently graduated with degrees in agriculture and forestry from the University of Rwanda Usogo campus, after 4 years of study, they submitted their research thesis to the university for final evaluation. This is the kind of research that should address real problems in Rwandan society, as was the case with research conducted by Alexis Musabirema, who studied how protein from insects can be used to fight child malnutrition and strengthen the body, and Emmanuel Tuyizere, who developed technology to monitor car emissions.
At NutriFarm, we conducted research on edible crickets to produce cricket powder that reduces malnutrition in infants. We manufactured the industrial cricket protein powder that we use to manufacture the high protein paste and even high protein spread to reduce malnutrition in infants and to help adults to build the body. Currently, we are packaging the industrial cricket spread and the industrial cricket paste for that we can go to market.
Now we have the production facility here locally in Rwanda, as our product is made in Rwanda. We have also secured the intellectual property certificates for our product, and also we did have secured the certification as data controller in Rwanda. As a company, we are also introducing the new product of electric recycle with the mission to deliver agricultural produce from farms to the market.
According to Dr. Tarsis Musabyimana, a lecturer at the University of Rwanda, it is a major loss for the country when research is stored away and never put to use.
That actually this is a big loss that we are actually incurring, because for somebody to get the research findings for a certain community, for universities, for institutions, for higher learning institutions and research institutions to get research findings, they actually invest a lot. So there's a lot of efforts, a lot of money, a lot of resources that are used to generate research findings. Now, if those research findings are only dumped without actually reaching the people who are supposed to use them for their developmental endeavors, that is a big loss. That means that actually the people should also start thinking about how to generate research findings, but also how to make research findings actually important and, let me say, used and important, and reach the people who are supposed to use them for developmental reasons.
The Executive Secretary of the National Council for Science and Technology, Dr. Eugene Mutimura, assures that the time has come to start utilizing the findings from this research to address the real problems it identifies. The Minister of Local Government, Dr. Patrice Mugenzi, also emphasized that educational development must go hand in hand with research that solves pressing national issues. We would like research institutions to conduct research aimed at transformation, especially research that reaches our people. When we talk about transformational research, we mean research that is based on our own issues, and we want it to reach those it is intended to benefit. According to data from the 2022 National Population and Housing Census, 3.3% of the population, equivalent to about 450,000 people, have university-level education, and all of them conducted research and wrote theses to graduate from over 40 public and private higher learning institutions. Enra Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Moments. Laying hoops. Giving away. Making moves. Breakfast with family. Inyanje is always there. Whatever the occasion, whatever the moment, always at Just for Inyange.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo agira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashisha, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Muyobozi wa sosiyete, turakwibutsa ko buri sosiyete isabwa n'itegeko kubika ibitabo bya sosiyete ndetse no gushyikiriza RDB amakuru abikubiyemo. Ibyo bitabo birimo igitabo cy'abanyamigabane, icy'abagenewe inyungu ku migabane, inyandiko y'amakuru ya sosiyete, ibaruramari ngarukamwaka n'izindi. Gutanga amakuru y'ugenewe inyungu ku migabane wanyura kuri bo.rdb.rw, naho gutanga izindi nyandiko ukanyura kuri org.rdb.rw.
Now to more news making headlines globally. The Thailand government has launched a new initiative to fast-track citizenship for nearly 500,000 stateless people, promising to reduce the application process from over a year to just 5 days. Al Jazeera has the details.
For some, this is a process that's taken years. For others, it's taken decades. But now the Thai government has promised to process applications of stateless people in just 5 days. In Mesai, on the northern border with Myanmar, the district office is packed. People from the different ethnic tribes that have lived along the border for centuries, or just those that fled fighting years ago. Hom was born and raised in Thailand, but she never had proper papers.
It would be a really good thing if I can get it, so that I can travel, I can get health care, and I can buy a house.
Others are a bit more cynical.
I've prepared everything, even the photos for my citizenship application, but I'm old. I might well die before I get it.
The announcement was made unexpectedly by the PM in a social media post at the weekend. Although her party promised to fix the problem, the speed with which they're saying they'll do it is new. Local government officers are trying hard to keep up.
This process used to take 270 days, but now we are confident we can do it in 5 days, because the ministry has given us more support, as long as the paperwork is all in order.
In 2018, when 12 boys and their football coach were trapped in a cave in Mesai, it emerged that 4 in the group were stateless. Embarrassed, the Thai government quickly gave them citizenship after their rescue. But around the country, 480,000 people are still waiting for that right. Freedom of movement is another basic right that many of these people have been denied.
This is the border with Myanmar, and most stateless people can get across here, but they can't go to any other province in Thailand, and they certainly can't go overseas.
For many, getting the right documents is a huge challenge. Residency documents, even birth certificates, are rare in some of the remote areas along the border. But even if it takes longer than 5 days, they're determined they'll no longer be second-class citizens in their own homes. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera, Mesai, Northern Thailand.
And this story brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin, but before we leave, a reminder of the top stories that made the edition. Political and development experts emphasize that African countries should do everything possible to generate their own electricity. The plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies approved the draft organic law governing the functioning of the Senate. On the international scene, the government of Thailand has launched a new initiative to fast-track citizenship for nearly 500,000 stateless people. Now that concludes today's bulletin. Thank you for joining us here on RBA. On behalf of the entire news team, we wish you a productive week ahead. Stay safe and take care.
ndabashuje mbifuriza n'ikaze inshuti bakunzi b'amakuru y'iteganyagihe mwategura n'ikigo cy'u Rwanda cy'ubumenyi bw'ikirere Meteo Rwanda. Tujye kuri iteganyagihe ryo ku munsi w'ejo ku itariki ya mbere Nyakanga y'umwaka wa 2025. Turaza kureba amasaha mu gitondo ndetse turebe n'amasaha y'igicamunsi tuza gukomoza no ku minsi iri imbere itanu. Duhereye kuri uyu munsi rero mu masaha mu gitondo ndetse n'amasaha y'igicamunsi twaramukanye urunyurane rw'izuba n'ibicu hirya no hino mu gihugu